Hey, we're going to be doing a bed and breakfast inspection today. So let me get my bag. We're going to go through the steps of an inspection of this type facility. You can see that there are a lot of structures here, so we're going to talk to the operator and find out if all of these are part of the bed and breakfast. Do they use these as a part of that, or is it personal use? Are these part of their home, the residential area? We just want to know what we need to inspect while we're here. And just to show you where we are, we want to thank Mary Betty and Ossie Kearney for letting us come to the Benjamin W. Best Country Inn and Carriage House. And we're going to do the inspection. We're going to head on up and knock on the door and see if somebody's here that can walk around with us.
Hey, hi.
Hey, Mary Betty. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to have you on the farm.
Good to see you. I'm Jennifer from the health department. I know you remember me, but I'm here to do your bed and breakfast inspection, if that's okay.
We're glad to have you, and I'm Mary Betty, and come right on in.
Hey, thanks.
You come right in the kitchen, of course.
I
That's the best place to be on the farm.
That's right. It smells good. I'm going to get started here. Are you going to be able to walk around or be available if I have questions?
Sure.
Okay.
I'd be glad to.
Well, that'll be great. Let me wash my hands and get my stuff together, and we'll get started.
Our hand washing sink is right over here in the corner.
Okay, thank you. Let's get started by going to the hand washing sink and washing our hands before we do the inspection. So we're going to wash our hands before we get started. Waiting on some warm water here. We are in the kitchen in the food service area of this bed and breakfast. There we go, that's warming up. We've got paper towels. And since this is a lever, I can just use my elbow and arm. I'll turn it off that way. All right, we're ready to get started. So let's look in the refrigerator and see what we've got in here. We're looking, of course, at a bed and breakfast refrigerator. So there are going to be several things we want to see. We want to look at storage order. Do they have meats, produce? Obviously, they might have packaged food. We want to see how it's stored. We're concerned with sources of this food. And we're looking for a temperature, of course, temperatures of TCS foods. And we're looking for date marking of some things if necessary. So let's see what we've got. Down here I see some water and we see some eggs, and they are in a container and they are fine down here. We've got pimento cheese, which is commercially packaged. It has been opened and some has been used, but it is not required to be date marked because it is a commercially processed packaged deli salad. If they made that here, that would be different. We would need to look for date marking if they were keeping that product over 24 hours. We've got some deli meat, and that's what I think I'll take a temperature of. Let's see what we're getting on the deli meat. And I have got an alcohol swab. I'm going to open up and sanitize my thermometer probe with that. Want to make sure that we are covering the whole probe. And I'm just going to lay that on the counter. And let's see, we've got, I'm going to lift up the package a little bit. I'm just going to lay my paper towel there. And we would want this to be date marked, this deli meat, because it has been opened and it appears that they keep it more than 24 hours. We're at 40 to 41 on that deli meat, so we're good. Close that back up. Now, I'm going to wipe with the same alcohol swab just to save that it's still wet. Just a few seconds have passed. I'm going to lay my thermometer there. Let's talk about what might need to be date marked. We see the deli meat. How about some milk or half and half? So creamer, that's been opened, used, kept more than 24 hours. We would want to see a date mark on that. This gallon of milk has not been opened yet. So when they open it, if it is going to be kept more than 24 hours, we would want to see a date mark on that. We've got some produce back here, lettuce. and tomatoes. So you want to remember to have a conversation with the operator about the washing of produce. We've got apples. And that's just something you've got to talk with the operator about to find out how they wash the produce, where they wash it. We've got some canned products here. And again, this is more about having a conversation with the operator. You want to know if there's home canned foods being stored here. Are they commercially canned, processed products, which that looks like. These look more like home canned, but you want to talk to the operator and see if it's something that's considered TCS or non-TCS. Is it something that they are doing here in the facility? Do they have the proper approval to do that kind of reduced oxygen packaging? More conversation to have to make sure that the sources of the food are approved. And that is a good look inside the refrigerator. Let's look at our utensil washing setup here in this bed and breakfast. We've got a 2-compartment sink. It is a residential style, which is allowed in the rules. And we want to, first of all, let's just check the hot water. They're using a detergent that calls for water to be at least 110 degrees for that detergent to work properly. So I'm going to use my calibrated thermometer and just see what we're getting here. If we can achieve 110, then we know that they can achieve 110, and they'll have to maintain that when they are washing dishes. They don't have to have 110 degree water sitting in the sink if they're not washing the dishes. And there you go, we're going on up, so we'll call that good. Let's talk about the different ways that they can wash dishes. Let me say too, if there's a detergent being used, that if the water's not getting to 110 and you want to make sure if that's okay or not, you want to look at the detergent that they're using and see if it requires 110 degree water, or maybe it has a range of 70 to 100, and you want to check those temperatures and make sure that what is actually provided in the facility is what matches the detergent that they're using, because all detergents don't have to have 110 degree water to work and be effective. So how can they wash dishes at this sink? There's a variety of options for them. We can have our warm soapy water in this compartment and wash the dishes. We can have clear water in this compartment for a rinse. We can rinse the dishes. We can sit those dishes on a dish strainer or something clean up here on the counter, and then we can fill this rinse compartment with sanitizer water and go back with the dishes into the sanitizer and sanitize them, and then put them back up on the counter to air dry. That's one way. We could also use the warm soapy water in this compartment, wash the dishes, rinse under running water here over this wash compartment, and then we could have sanitizer in this compartment and sanitize and move the dishes over here to air dry. That's another option. We could also wash in this compartment, rinse in this compartment, or under the flowing water. And we could put those clean dishes up on a dish drain and spray sanitizer on them, leaving it to air dry. Now this facility has a dishwasher, a machine, and it happens to have a sanitizing cycle on it. So in this facility, this dishwasher could actually be used for the cleaning and sanitizing of the utensils. If you have a dishwasher, I'm just going to open it up. You always look for cleaning as well when you're looking at the dishwashers. But if you have a dishwasher that does not have a sanitizing cycle, there is an option of using that dishwasher for cleaning those utensils and then moving the clean utensils up to a dish strainer to spray the sanitizer, or to a sink that's filled with sanitizer. So there are many options for cleaning and sanitizing when you've got your 2-compartment sink and a dishwasher. You've got to talk to the operator. You've got to have a conversation and ask them how they clean their utensils. Maybe even get them to show you what they do if there's something available where they can walk you through the steps that they use. You want to have that talk with them and make sure that you are getting a real view, a true view of how they clean and sanitize their utensils, so that you can correct. If correction is needed, you can explain to them why and what they can do, because you can see there's a lot of options here with this equipment. Let's talk about sanitizer strength in this bed and breakfast, and we want to check, of course, to make sure that the strength is correct. And I'm going to talk about the test strips and the bottle in just a minute, but let's go ahead and dip one of these strips into our bottle of sanitizer. And I am following the instructions on the bottle. We're going to shake off the excess, and I'm going to lay it right there. This bottle of test strips tells me to dip the test pad into the solution and to remove the strip and shake off excess water and let it sit for 1 minute before we compare on the color chart. So we're going to let that sit for about a minute. And I want to remind you to look for expiration dates on these bottles of test strips. These are fine. And let's talk about the type of sanitizer. The operator's already told me that she's using bleach water, which is chlorine sanitizer. We want the bottle to be in good repair, clean, not having held any other chemical, and labeled. So it's labeled sanitizer. It can be labeled with the common name. Does not have to be a fancy chemical name. It could say chlorine. It could say bleach water. It could say quat sanitizer, but that's fine. I took the top off to dip the strip because that's what the bottle of strips told me to do. We've got another type of test strips. These are chlorine. It's a different company makes these little strips. Same thing, calling for us to dip into the solution for 1 second. And then of course to lay that can immediately be checked, I believe. Let's read and make sure. Dip into the solution to be tested without agitation, so you don't swish it around. The color will indicate approximate strength of the solution in parts per million available chlorine. Now the colors are a little gray blue, but you can see we are close to 100, more than 50, so we're in a range there of 50 to 100. Let's see what we've got on this strip. We'll compare with this color chart, and again we are in that 50 to 200 range. That's okay for sanitizing solution, and I'll show you. I've got a strip that's been sitting a little longer than a minute. We can compare. So a little bit of a different shade, but still showing 50 to 200. Just want you to see the differences there. The important message here is to talk to the operator, know what type of sanitizer they're using. They need to know what type of sanitizer they're using, what type of test strips they have. Make sure the test strips are not expired and that you are using them as the manufacturer instructs. Let's take a look around the kitchen in this bed and breakfast and see some other equipment. We've got an ice machine and a microwave. You just want to remember to have you a flashlight. If I can open this, you just shine your flashlight and you look at the working parts that you can see of the ice machine, looking for general cleaning and good repair. We've got a microwave here, again looking for that to be clean and in good repair. And you have a conversation with the operator about what they use the microwave for. Do they cook in the microwave? Do they reheat in the microwave? Do they only use it to heat water? Or, you just got to ask them questions and find out what they use the microwave for. We've got some storage drawers and cabinets over here. So let's see what we've got in them. Okay, we've got some food storage. And it looks like everything is in its original container. So that looks good. We're looking for cleaning. No signs of pests or insects in there. We've got some drawers. Let's just look and see. We've got some random silverware. We just kind of pull out and see what they're storing. Things that you would expect to see in a kitchen. Let's see. There you go. So they look good. Let's look under the sink. See what kind of storage we have under here. We want to remember there should not be any food stored. That looks like a container. Well, I think that's a container of something. Some lard. So I would tell the operator to let's move that so that it's not under a pipe. The coffee filters are in there, packaging sealed up, but they should be moved as well so they're not under the pipe of the sink. So that's a look at this side of the kitchen and storage. Let's look around the rest of the kitchen in this bed and breakfast. Let's look in the storage drawers. We've got some utensils and some spices. Those spices are in their original container, and I'm just looking for general cleaning. No signs of insects in here, no vermin. And we are looking at cleaning of those utensils, just what you can see. Again, looking in the corners of the drawers, there's more spices down here. And these items are in their original packaging. Let's look over here. Up here we've got some pasta These do not have to be labeled because they are easily identifiable just by looking at them. They're not like a white powder or some substance that you wouldn't be sure of what it was. These utensils should be inverted. They're not stored in the best way since we're assuming that they are clean. I have not asked the operator yet about those, but storing them with the working end down would be better. We've got a utensil drawer. This looks pretty good. Everything is going the same way, so we can grab handles and not grab the part that touches the food. We've got baking sheets and muffin pans down there. That looks clean. And here we've got a oven and a stove with some general storage of some cooking salt, spices, and oils up here. And we can look in the oven for cleaning. She's got a baking pan in there right now, but no food being cooked at this time. So that is a look at this side of the kitchen. Let's look at this beverage area in our bed and breakfast. We've got a little setup with coffee, some creamer and sugar. We've got labels on these sugars back here. We've actually got some creamer out at room temperature, so that just brings up a conversation with the operator. Are they trying to hold this and take it back to the refrigerator? Are they using time, so TPHC maybe, to use the creamer and leave it out at room temperature during breakfast service? But we've got spoons stored over here, and the working end, the end that goes into your product or into your mouth, is up, so we would want them to invert those so that the handle is what's sticking up. And then we've got just some general storage drawers. You can see some linens, some more china, and we'll just kind of randomly pull open some placemats and coasters, more placemats. And if you look up at the china cabinets, remember this is a bed and breakfast. It's a home. It's where the owner lives, she and her family. So they may use some of these things for personal storage. She may use some of these for events here. I'm not going to open these cabinets and look at everything, but you want to have a conversation with the operator and find out what they use the different china when they have this type of setup, and you know, how much are they using and how are they cleaning and sanitizing those things. Let's come into the dining room of the bed and breakfast and look around in here. We've got a table. We've got a variety of serviceware, decorations. We are really looking in here at floors, walls, and ceilings, your physical facilities. We're looking at furnishings, and we are looking for them to be kept clean and to be in good repair. Now, you just do a visual check of all these things. This is a historical home that was restored to be this bed and breakfast, and I'm seeing a little wall damage or deterioration here. We've got up on the ceiling and the top of the wall there possibly some staining from some water damage. So I'd want to talk to the operator about that. That's going to be up to them to work on how to repair it and maintain the integrity of the historical home status. And we've got things in here that may be personal items. Again, remember we're in a bed and breakfast, so the family lives here as well. Just more conversations to have with the operator about what items are personal, what items are part of the B&B, and just looking again at the furnishings for cleanliness and being maintained in good repair. A little more in the dining room. We've got this corner cabinet that's holding lots of silver serviceware. They may use it for events here at the B&B. They may use it for personal, but just more to look at for cleanliness and being maintained in good repair. Also, again, looking at floors, the walls, the ceiling. We are really paying attention to physical facilities here and the furnishings in this room. We are still looking at some sitting areas in this bed and breakfast, so we're mostly concerned with physical facilities and the furnishings, so being kept clean, being in good repair. You can see through this doorway, there's some more, just kind of a walk-through area that takes you back around to the beverage area, and if you go left, you go toward a bathroom and laundry, which we will get to in a few minutes, but this is still just another sitting area entryway to the bed and breakfast. And we're going to look at the formal sitting room next. So in this bed and breakfast, we've moved to a formal sitting room, and there are a few things to look at in here. We've got this cabinet and counter space here holding a lot of crystal, more silver service. Just want you to remember when you see things like this to have that conversation with the operator to find out what these things are used for. This entire setup could be decorative only. These could be heirloom pieces. This is a historical home that's been turned into a bed and breakfast. They may never use these items for any type of food storage or food service, but you want to find out, because if they are using them, then you want to have a conversation about cleaning and sanitizing. But remember, this could be personal stuff and it could be just decorative. So let's look in this room at furnishings. We've definitely got floors, walls, and a ceiling to look at. And we just want to observe for good cleaning and things being kept in good repair. As far as the furnishings, the furniture in here, these actually have cushions that can be lifted up so you can observe for cleaning underneath the cushions, and they look nice and clean. We've got a sofa that we can also lift up some cushions and check for cleaning. And then we can put them back like we found them. Try to. Normally you'll have people walking around with you that will help make that happen. And again, just looking for good cleaning and maintained in good repair. So we've got a little bit of wall and ceiling damage there, a little cobweb. Just some minor things you would mention to the operator. Now that we've seen the sitting rooms, sitting areas here in the bed and breakfast, let's look at our areas here off of this hallway. We have a storage closet, laundry, there's a bathroom, and we're going to see all of these things right now. We have a closet. I'm going to prop the door. Then you can see in here. We've got some cleaning tools, brooms hanging up properly, a vacuum cleaner, some paper products on the floor. I would mention to the operator about getting those up off the floor, but just some general storage in here. And then moving into the laundry area, this is a small little room, but it is holding the laundry equipment, a washer and a dryer, and some supplies for laundering the towels and linens here. And we've got a hand washing sink so that in between soiled and clean laundry, the operator, the housekeeper can wash their hands. If there was not a hand washing sink here, then the inspector and the operator would need to work out what we call an approved hand hygiene program. That could be, in this facility, the bathroom is right next door with a hand washing sink. There's a possibility that that sink could become the hand washing sink to use between soiled and clean laundry, between handling those things. But here we have a hand washing sink, and we've got running water, a mixing faucet for hot and cold, hand washing soap, paper towels, so it's equipped properly. And then we actually have a freezer here that holds some food. It's not unusual to find that there will be food storage kind of stuffed in a small area wherever there's room. We are looking in this freezer for food to be labeled, looking for approved sources, and I'm not going to get into a lot of details in this freezer, but I will say when you are inspecting a facility and find a freezer that maybe you weren't aware of, you want to talk to the operator and talk about what's maybe personal or what's for the B&B. This could be just all personal, and if they tell you that, then it's not part of the food service, food that they're serving to their customers. But if it is holding food that they serve their customers, you want to follow up with the same things that we looked for in the refrigerator in the kitchen area. And that's the laundry, hand washing, and freezer in this little room. Let's move from the laundry area into the hallway and go into the bathroom that's just down this hall. There is not a guest room down here, but this bathroom can be used by guests, or it might be used by the family that lives here. But let's talk about what's in here that we need to see. We've got water. We have soap. We have a clean towel for drying your hands, and that towel can be single use. It is a cloth towel, but it can be put after one use into the basket for the dirty towels. Over here, We've got a toilet. We have toilet tissue, which is a requirement. And we are going to just look at the toilet for general cleaning and in good repair. And we'll flush. Make sure it's operating. Don't see any leaking. Don't see any water coming back up to overflow. And I will wash my hands since I handled that toilet. And that's a look at this bathroom. So we're coming upstairs to our guest room area, but before we get into the guest room, let's talk about what else we see up here. Off to this side is the residence part of this bed and breakfast. So the operator has let me know that that's their private residence area, so we are not going to go in there to do any part of this inspection. And here we have a sitting area. So we're upstairs, so this is just a nice sitting area for people coming out of the guest room and wanting to just enjoy this area upstairs. We've got furniture. We can lift up some cushions and look for cleaning and try to put them back. We can move some things around. Still looking for good cleaning and good repair. We've got shelves, child-sized tables. A lot of this is just out for decoration, not intended to be moved around and used a lot. And we're looking at floors and walls and the ceiling, as usual, our physical facilities. Since we're in a different area than we've been in before, we want to make sure that these are clean and in good repair. We have an armoire, a cabinet type piece here. Let's open it up. We've got some linen storage. So clean in here, clean linen, and for the shelves and cabinet itself to be clean. She's got some labels so that they know what size sheets they've got in there. Looks clean and in good repair. And we're going to move into the guest room next, but that's just a look at this sitting area upstairs. Let's move into the guest room part of our inspection and have a look around in here. We've got floors, walls, and ceiling to look at in here, so physical facilities. We've got some furnishings to observe and make sure that they are being kept clean and in good repair. And we will make our way around the room to check out the other furniture in here, but the bed is right here, so let's go ahead and talk about how we look at a bed and the bed coverings and the linens on the bed during the inspection. We want to do something that's sort of uncomfortable sometimes when housekeeping has made everything look nice and the inspector comes in and we kind of tear up what they've done. But you've got to look at these things. So we're going to pull back the bed. Now the operator explained to me that she launders the bed covers between guests. And that makes a difference in what we're looking for here. Because you will remember the rules talk about a top sheet being folded down 6 inches. If she did not clean the bed covers between guests, this would need to be folded down over the bed cover to protect the guest, hopefully, from their face touching something that hasn't been laundered. But she launders these things between guests. So her top sheet is folded down 6 inches, but it's not intended to be over these bed covers because they are being cleaned. Now we're looking at the actual linens for cleanliness, good repair, and there's so many blankets on here because this is a old historic home and it's kind of cold up here. She doesn't have any guests staying upstairs, so it's about 62 degrees in this room, and if I was sleeping in here I would like all those blankets. Now we've got a fitted sheet that I'm gonna pull. Sometimes it's like a job to get the sheet pulled back. And we've got a mattress cover, and we want to look and see if it's being kept clean and in good repair, and then we can pull this off. Now, you know, in your hotels, when you inspect, sometimes you see those zippered mattress covers. This is, as we've said before, a bed and breakfast, a little bit different environment. I am shining my light along the seams of the mattress to look for any signs of bed bugs. It's a very popular place for bed bugs, seams of a mattress. You can even lift up. Be careful when you're sticking your hand under something to lift up like that. You just never know what you might find. That's about as high as I can lift that without assistance. But we're looking for this to be clean and in good repair and no signs of bed bugs. Now we've got a big headboard here, kind of fancy, and still looking for these pieces of furniture to be kept clean and in good repair. And I'm just checking for dust. It's very clean. And we are not going to attempt to put the bed back. We are going to let housekeeping help us get it back the way they want it. Now that we've seen the bed, let's walk around the room and look at the other furnishings here. We've got a rocking chair. We can move the pillow, look for cleaning and in good repair. We've got a little sofa with some pillows. Again, just looking at cleaning and looking for everything to be in good repair. We can lift up the cushion, look for any cleaning issues or repair issues, and I don't see any there. Let's put it back the way we found it. We try to do that. Okay, and physical facilities in here. We want to look at the floor and the walls and the ceiling and just see if there's anything that needs attention. We've got other furnishings, a table, a rocking chair. We've got this cabinet for the TV and some quilt storage, so just another piece of the furniture to look at for cleaning and being in good repair. And we've got up on the ceiling something to look at there. We've got the little vent that needs a little attention. And if we walk a little further around the room, we have a side table, another chair. We can again move pillows around, lift up cushions, looking for cleaning and repair, good repair. We've got a bedside table. We can open a drawer. We've got a Bible, remote controls, playing cards, nothing unusual there. And looking again at the physical facilities, the floors, the wall, the ceiling. We've got a air return up here that needs some attention. We would bring that to the attention of the operator. And that's a good look at the guest room. We're going to move into the bathroom in just a minute. Let's look at the beverage area provided for this guest room. We've got a coffee maker, and we've got individually packaged a couple of cups for the next guest here. These are thrown away. We've got disposable spoons, and that's fine. They're supposed to be thrown away after each guest and replaced with fresh ones. We've got the individual sweeteners. So just a little coffee area here, a little microwave. Looks clean. We're looking for these to be kept clean and in good repair. We've got a refrigerator holding some individually packaged creamer and a water bottle and coffee for the coffee maker. So just providing the guests with some beverages. Remember, your coffee making equipment, coffee or tea equipment, does not have to be sanitized, so we're looking for those to be kept clean. And that's the little beverage area for the guest room. Let's walk into the guest bathroom and have a look around here. We've got a tub and a shower. So we want to use our flashlight and shine up there to look for the cleanliness of the shower head. You can look at the ceiling while you're doing that, and the walls. We look in the bottom of the tub. There's a shower curtain here, so we're looking for clean and in good repair for the shower curtain. And we can move around to see the toilet. We've got toilet tissue, which is required. That's provided. And we've got a toilet we want to check for cleaning and good repair. I'm going to flush. Just make sure it's operating properly. Also looking at walls and ceiling in here, your physical facilities. Always keep those in mind. And then we've got a hand washing sink. So I'm going to turn on some water. Wash my hands. We've got soap and we've got a clean towel to dry our hands. And there are some more clean towels behind the door in this particular bathroom. I'm going to just reach up and grab that. And remember that your bathroom fixtures are what's required to be cleaned and sanitized. And that's a look at the guest bathroom. We are outside the Benjamin W. Best Country Inn and Carriage House. We want to look at the septic system area. We want to talk about water supply out here. We know from the file information that this particular bed and breakfast is on county water supply, so not a private well. We also know that they have an on-site septic system, and the tank comes out from behind this middle building, the carriage house, and the lines kind of curve around. And if you look down from where I'm standing, the lines just run straight kind of down the side of the house and into the front part of the yard. So for this type of a evaluation of a septic system, we've looked at the permit in the file, we've looked at what the records tell us, and we really are just doing a walk over the ground here to see that there's no sewage surfacing, no obvious signs of failure or trouble with the septic system. So we can walk just a little bit and see no obvious extra green area, no sewage surfacing on the ground. And that's what you want to see when you find out that a facility has a septic system, and you want to make sure you're checking that file information to get accurate information on wastewater and water supply. We have completed our inspection of this bed and breakfast facility. We have seen guest rooms, we have seen the bathroom and the food service area, the kitchen. We've seen physical facilities, fixtures and furnishings. We've even talked about the water supply and the wastewater disposal system. And it is time for us to wrap this up, fill out our inspection report, and go over it with the operator and hang a grade card, and we will be finished with this inspection.